So why doesn't the market understand how good my solutions are? Click here the subscribe button, set up the alert. If the content of this video is good for you, let us know by clicking the like button. So here's what I hear a lot, like prospects don't get it. That's the typical phrase that I hear from a lot of business people, especially people that sell something that's specialized, right? They say, well, they don't understand how much better than others we are at solving problems. We're great at solving problems. So, well, maybe we don't have exactly what they're looking for, but we solve problems that are so much more complex than what their need is now. That should be obvious by knowing that we solved a more complex problem, that of course I will solve their problem that's less complex. And if we have the abilities to deal with that level of complexity, then of course I will do a fantastic job at this relatively simpler situation. Well, that's the first thing. Like, they don't understand how much better we are than others at solving problems in general. The other complaint I hear is like they don't appreciate how differentiated our quality is. Our quality is really better. We are so much, that's how we sell, and that's how people come to us. They come to us because of our quality. The third thing I hear is like, well, they don't feel compelled despite our lower prices. I don't understand. How is that possible? We offer great quality and we offer lower prices. Everybody should be lining up here trying to buy from us. So what's happening that they don't come? So these are symptoms when people start to say, oh, the prospects don't get it and they don't understand how much better we are. Typically, they're talking about these three things: lack of understanding of how good we are at solving problems, lack of understanding of how much better our quality is, and lack of sensitivity to the fact that we're much cheaper. Okay, here's where the confusion is, right? And what they are actually thinking, the prospects. You may be thinking that it should be a no-brainer, but let's see if it's really a no-brainer. What's happening in the other brain on the other side? First, many times it's not about how much smarter we are. They know. I tell them that I solved something in a very complex environment. They say, well, good for you, you're smart, but it may not be relevant. They say, yeah, but that's not the type of problem I have. Show me that you solve my problem. I say, no, you don't understand. I already solved problems that are more complicated than the one you have. So trust me, it will be a no-brainer. I'm going to solve your problem. There is a misfit, you see? So the second thing, what they're actually thinking, it's like they're not necessarily looking for your deeper knowledge and broad abilities. We're talking about quality here. Oh, we're better. We understand better of this topic. They may not. They may be just be looking for something simpler. I'm going to get to what they may be looking very, very soon here. But just bear with me. Another misunderstanding is like sometimes what they're actually thinking is that they're focused on a very specific niche problem within a scope. And they're asking themselves, can this guy deliver in this narrow need? They can deliver it better than anybody else. They're not trying to do a complex extrapolation in their brain saying, wow, if they can solve me this little problem, wow, they can solve all these other things that I also have in my business. So let me deal with them. Let me start. No, they're busy. They have tons of problems. Their to-do list has 18 items, right? So they're only looking at something very, very specific, right? So if they're looking at something very specific, we need to show that we can be a good fit for that something very specific. So if this all sounds a little complex, don't worry. We have here products and services that we can guide you in the process. We can help you with all this. Just click the link of the description and we can talk more about that, right? But let's stick with the content of the video here. From everything we described in this video so far, it's very possible there may be a mismatch of our perception of what is the deliverable that we need to provide to them and what they actually need, right? What we think they need may not be what they are actually being able to communicate that they need, right? Let's talk about a few details. It's important to be specialized, and they appreciate that we are good at solving problems, but the context is really important. Because the context in which we solve the specific problem for another client may be different from what they have in mind. They say, well, but that is a little different. Like, we really need to try to find something that's similar to their situation. We should never focus on bending backwards first, especially with pricing and impossible timelines or level of service. Say, yeah, no, come here, let's get a deal. I'm going to show you, because that is going to display to the other side that you were kind of a little bit desperate. You're just chasing a deal. You don't even understand what the problem you're trying to solve, and you're already trying to cut a deal, offering lower prices and committing to a timeline that doesn't seem to be feasible. Instead of people say, oh yeah, they're willing to do anything to do this deal. They're really hungry. Let me hire them, because then they're going to do everything to deliver. People are going to be suspicious. They're going to say, well, they don't even know what they're talking about. They're already making a lot of promises. That may play against you, right? And quality is not necessarily the only winner. Right? Sometimes, again, it's that typical thing. Maybe something with 2 decimal points works well enough. I don't need 4 decimal points, right? And people are not going to pay for more, right? The other mistake that people make is like show too many capabilities, because that causes confusion. If we start to try to overwhelm our clients, showing them how diverse is our capability to add value, say, yeah, we can do this, but we also can do that, but we also can do that, but oh, we have done this other thing, oh, in the past we have connected all these things and delivered to you. They're going to be confused. They're going to say, well, but I only have this problem, and yeah, it looks like you do a lot of many things, you do all the juggling, but it's not for me. I'm just looking for a screwdriver. I don't need all these 12 functions of your toolbox. So I have to be careful not to cause confusion in the brain of the buyer. The buyer has to be thinking about one straight line. Oh yeah, problem, they're the best to solve the problem. How do we get there? That's it. Don't try to show them too many things. So they will understand the value that you provide when you show them 2 things, right? First, you need to show them that you understand specific problems that they have. And here it's important to have a context of the organization that they have on their side and the scope of a company, because sometimes you may be selling to different people, right? You're talking to one person, but they have in turn to present a case internally so that you're chosen as a supplier. So ask them who else has to be part of the decision. What else is important for you to choose a supplier? It's not only that narrow technical characteristics of what you were talking about. Like, ask what else is involved. So that's the thing. So first, have to really understand the specific problems they have with the right scope and with the right understanding of their organization. The second thing, you need to provide quantifiable cases in similar situations. So companies with a similar size, that you solved a similar problem and you generate a result. So people look for familiarity. They want to see that you are able to solve something exactly like the problem they have right now. So here's the final piece of idea that I've seen work very well in these situations. Focus on the problem at hand and demonstrate how you already solved it. And you show this overall fit for the whole company. And that's it. You're not trying to demonstrate that your company has multiple and very deep abilities. No, start with what they need only, and only deliver that first. Then, if they start to trust you because you delivered in what was exactly the pain they had, then you can start to say, oh yeah, you're happy, oh, I'm glad with it. And by the way, what else do you have there? Because we also have other capabilities. I didn't even tell you because I didn't want to confuse. And I could tell that what was really important for you at that moment was this, but is there anything else there? Because we do other things too. Like, what else you have, right? And then you start to expand. So start with a client with a very narrow scope. If there is opportunity for more stuff, you're going to do that later, after you deliver the first narrow solution, as opposed to confuse and overwhelm the client, saying that you can do too many things. Then you play against your own reputation if you try to do that. Okay? Well, there are some other videos here in the channel that we cover similar topics. Okay, good luck.